Alright guys, so the legends over at Max Peeling Rods sent me this big beauty. It is a Max Peeling Rods 600 by 300 by 76 mil intercooler, same size as the 76 mil pipe, and we're going to be putting it in the Falcon. So first thing we're going to do is a bit of a rearranging, because the Falcon has a in and back both on the same side setup going on, and we're actually going to pipe it from one side to the other, just for ease of plumbing and all of that. And I want to bring a turbo side intake over here to make all those cool noises, get rid of the intake on that side. Yeah, bit of an upgrade. So they sent me out this beast for the purpose of review. Got 4 mounting points, so a couple on top, on the bottom, and it's got 3-inch hoses. So the factory hoses on the Xr6 Turbo aren't 3-inch, so we will have to do some adapting. The only concern I've really got at the moment is this one here. I believe it's actually a pressure sensor, so we have to reincorporate that in our lines. I'll check on that and see where other people have mounted that otherwise, because I want to get rid of that aluminium pipe, I reckon. I'm going to put a really small battery in this thing too, which will fit just over here by itself. Yeah, like an Odyssey battery or whatever. So yeah, we're going to get some hoses out so that we can get this factory intercooler out. That's actually an FPV one, this one, which come in the BF and later ones. So it's not as small as the original, but yeah, none of this is mounted properly. There appears to only be a mount up in here through there, so we'll get that undone. And we'll get this one out and we'll compare sizes so you can see how much of an upgrade this beast is. I'd love to go and buy a Plasma Man or something like that. They can be up in the thousands of dollars for an intercooler kit. These are about 250-ish, delivered in Australia, or in stock in Australia. I got this in 4 days. So yeah, that's also quite a good option, I reckon. Yeah, finish of it looks fine. It certainly looks pretty neat. I did bend one fin over, which I'll straighten up, but that was me. I squeezed it accidentally. If you look inside, it looks really cool. And being all in chrome finish, it should be great for cooling down that charge here. I've got a discount code on these. Use the code ONEUP 1UP on maxpeelingrods.com. And yeah, you'll get some kind of discount and I'll get a little kickback. Thank you. Let's get this intercooler out. I'll get that bolt out and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we get that bolt out. We've gained a bit of movement, something's still holding it there. It's bolted down through there. Let's see if we can get these hoses off the stock cooler. Oh, it's nice and clean inside. That's good news. Okay, I've got this top hose undone, both sides. I did for a while consider leaving this car completely standard, just play with visual things, because it does go well. But like as you can see, I needed hoses anyway. That one there's all cracked at the top, and the one at the bottom's just as bad. So I looked up the hoses, and a genuine hose kit's over $1,000 for your rubber intercooler hoses. It's pretty expensive. So I've got a Max Peeling Rods pipe kit sitting in the shed as well, in the other shed. So I'll have to go and get that. Man, that's tight. It's like stuck to the rubber. Lots of heat cycles, I suppose. Well, it's an interesting type of clip. It goes in the hose as well as around the hose. I wonder why they do that. See that? I've never seen that before. Gotcha. Granted, they are like big hoses. It's a McKay one. I just see it was squished on the top of the intercooler there. So it was in there like that. It was squished on the knob of the intercooler there. It isn't a real good fitment, really. Ah, there we go. There's another bolt there. Let's get him undone. Hiding in there. I believe it's a 13mm. Got this today. Isn't this the thing of beauty? It's a Milwaukee pack out socket set. Got this socket set and a set of impact sockets, which came with as a bonus by instant redemption. Got socket set, impact sockets, and a full set of drill bits, impact rated ones. Where are you? There. So as you can see, this intercooler is still in here. I didn't actually have to replace this crash bar after this vehicle crashed. All the damage was up here. So I made it a very cheap redo. Fall out on my foot. Almost. So yeah, this was $299 and it came with all that other stuff. Cheap. Yeah, so someone thought it was a good idea to tie that off to the aircon condenser. See these down here? Out wide off to the body and wide off to the aircon condenser. Some people really don't think when they put stuff in. I think this little intercooler is going to go in my mate's BMW, this little old one. There she is. See, Ford Performance Vehicles. It's by no means tiny. Nice big cast end tanks on it. Let's set it up and compare it to the size of the Max Peating rods. We can measure it too, I suppose, but it's just for reference. A lot of people probably wouldn't know. A BA Xr6 turbo intercooler is only about that big, and they do the same return thing. They're only really small. So these are an upgrade from what you get in your factory XR turbo. Let's lay them out on the floor. So yeah, there's a size difference. Alright, let's see if I can get this to sit up in here, hold it in place, and we will take a look at what it looks like in there. Alright, we've got it mocked up in place. It's a very tight fit in there between the aircon line on this side, power steering lines on that side. But we are in. Pop the front bar out of the way. So, it's huge. It's quite a big intercooler. And you probably have to go crossover pipe delete when you do this mod. So I'm just going to have to make some bits of flat bar. You come up off this point here. We do have that point there still. Might have to drill a new one. Pick up the top of this, and same again at the bottom. This is a big cooler. Width-wise, it just fits. I might give myself a little bit of space down in here. Just gently notch that out with the grinder. And that might get us forward a little bit, and we get it up a little bit higher. But we actually don't want it too much higher, because we have to get a reducing elbow down a 2.5 inch through there to come up in this gap and through underneath the headlight like that is. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tight, but we'll see what we can work out with our pipework kit. We need to put that sensor back in. So I've seen a couple of videos where kits actually just extend this sensor, put a bit of heater hose around it, and then run that to a point on the intercooler pipework. So yeah, a bit of work to do yet, but it does fit in that gap. I have another video of me leveling it up and getting it mounted and stuff like that coming soon. But for now, I just wanted to see if I could actually get it in there without cutting and changing too many things. And yeah, it does go in the hole. Now, that aircon pipe might cause you some dramas, but yeah. I'll link this beast, use the code 1UP, you'll get a discount, and support the channel in the process. She's a big old cooler. There's more surface area hanging out the bottom, not including what's behind this Rio bar on this cooler than the whole factory one has standard. So it's a big upgrade. Should do good things. The front bar fits over it, and yeah, get our pipe work up and in under here, so we get a bit of room here. Should be able to get 2.5 inch up around the top, back into the throttle body. So one of the biggest dramas you normally have with these Falcons, and the reason they've got this flat crossover, is because most of them didn't run a bulged bonnet. So we've got the Xr6 bonnet on mine, which will allow us to cheat a little bit. We'll go from here down and around in 2.5 or maybe even 3 inch. If we keep it tucked in, we'll actually be within the ribs of the bonnet and nice and safe space wise. So yeah, bit of messing around to do yet. Get this growler intake out, we don't need that. I wish Max Peeling rods did lots of hoses like this. It would be quite handy about now. But yeah. We'll delete this stuff that we don't need in our way, run our new lines, and yeah, try and get a whole cleaner thing done. We're not having a blow-off valve, that's getting deleted. So if you want that, send me a message. It's a V-port switchable blow-off valve, makes cool noises. You can make it go just full blow-off and like whistle, or you can plumb it back. So yeah, if you need it to be stealthy, you can make it stealthy. Runs off this port down here. Lots of people block these off and make them flutter. I'm going to run an aftermarket catch can, so that won't be needed either. I'll probably take that off the engine just for the end of this video for you. Let me take that crossover off and show you what we're working with. So you see, there's the blow-off valve. There's the crossover pipe work. That one to the throttle body. That one to the intake hose. So yeah, there's obviously some restriction just because they needed to get things over, under, round and through under a standard bonnet. But I've got a much deeper bonnet because mine's made to fit the intake plenum of a Xr6. Yeah. So on top of the engine now, we'll just have to do a loop back and down, into the cooler, out of the cooler, up to the turbo. The turbo one already comes pretty much straight down. Can we see it? Yeah, we can. Comes straight down, comes straight across in front of the alternator there. So we'll be able to mimic something similar. Get it out and get it into 3-inch, 3-inch through the cooler, and then back down to 2.5 for this side. And all alloy piping instead of rubber means you'll lose a bit of heat through the alloy. It'll also spool faster because it doesn't have to blow up and move the pipework. There'll be no cracks in it. And we'll see if we can't get a few less joins, because as you see, there's some big old cracks in it. Pipework's pretty clean, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure on the size of that, but yeah, it's not going to be any smaller, which is good. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Max Beating Rods. I'll get the piping kit here and see what we need to work out to do some more. You see my bypasses there for the transcooler thermostat that we did a previous video on. Go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. And yeah, this will also allow me to get the rocker cover off a lot easier without taking all that crossover stuff out. Get the rocker cover off, or the spark plug covers there, and we can get some new plugs in it, things like that, because we do have to do some pretty major servicing to this before we hit the road with it, because yeah, it sat for a couple of years since I've owned it, and sat crashed for a while too. Got to do a tie rod end on it as well. Catch you on the next video. We'll do some more. Thanks for watching.